For years, they had been icons in their own right. Yoona, the multi-talented singer and actor, known for his charm and versatility. Yoona, the nation's sweetheart, a beloved actress and idol whose grace captivated hearts everywhere. They had worked together, smiled for the cameras, and spoken about their friendship in interviews. To the public, they were colleagues, co-stars, and at most close friends. But behind the perfect smiles and polite denials, a different story was unfolding. A story they had kept hidden from the world. The rumors had always been there, whispered through online forums and hinted at in blurry photos. Did their chemistry extend beyond the screen? Were their stolen glances scripted? Or was there something more? The speculation intensified after their drama together. Their connection felt too real, too natural. Fans began to believe that fiction had become reality. Still, they remained silent. For them, love was not a performance. It was not something to be shared with the public. Love was in the quiet moments, the ones no one saw, the way their fingers brushed accidentally during rehearsals, the way they lingered after filming had wrapped for the day. It started with simple gestures, a glance that lasted too long, a touch that felt too familiar, a warmth that neither could ignore. They told themselves it was nothing, just the remnants of their on-screen characters, emotions lingering even after the director called cut. But love has a way of making itself known, even when unspoken. One evening, after a long day of filming, they found themselves alone. The crew had left. The set was silent, but neither of them moved. They sat together, watching the city lights flicker in the distance. A comfortable silence between them. And then, without a word, he reached for her hand. She didn't pull away. It was a simple moment, but it changed everything. From that night on, the boundaries between them blurred. There were no confessions, no grand declarations. Just an understanding. A feeling that grew stronger with every shared glance, every secret smile. But in their world, love was never just between two people. The moment the first leaked photo surfaced, chaos erupted. The headlines exploded with speculation. Were they secretly dating? Was it more than friendship? Was it a hidden romance? They had seen it happen before, to others and to themselves. They knew the weight of expectation. The cost of love exposed too soon. So they denied it. They brushed off the questions in interviews, smiled and laughed as if the idea was ridiculous. "We're just close friends," they would say, knowing the words felt like a lie. But the world didn't believe them. Every interaction was scrutinized. Every look, every touch, every moment became evidence in the eyes of the public. Fans searched for clues. They analyzed social media posts. They dissected body language. They speculated on hidden meanings behind their words. And still they remained silent. Not because they were ashamed. Not because they wanted to deceive. But because some love stories are too precious to be put on display. They lived in the shadows of their own love story, stealing moments where they could. A brief encounter in an empty hallway. A shared smile in a crowded room. A touch hidden beneath a dinner table. But love was never meant to be hidden forever. The rumors refused to die. Instead, they grew louder. Some claimed they were secretly engaged. Others insisted they were already married. That they had exchanged vows in a private ceremony. That they had a hidden life away from the cameras. And then, one evening, the world got its answer. They could have kept hiding. Could have continued to deny. But love, real love, deserved more than secrecy. So, without any grand announcement, without any carefully worded statement, they made a choice. They walked together, hand in hand, past the flashing cameras, past the questions shouted their way. They didn't run. They didn't hide. For the first time, they let the world see them as they were. Together. The headlines the next morning were inevitable. The world finally had its answer. Some fans rejoiced, their suspicions proven true. Others were heartbroken, struggling to accept that their idols belonged to each other, not just to the fantasy they had imagined. But for Juno and Yoona, none of it mattered. Because love was not meant to be proven. Love was in the way he looked at her when he thought no one was watching. In the way she whispered his name with a softness only he would ever hear. In the way they chose each other, again and again, despite everything. They had once been afraid of what the world would say, of what love would cost them. But standing there, hands intertwined, they knew. This was worth it. Because love, true love, was never meant to be a secret. And now it no longer was. This was only the beginning.
The world now knew. For years, they had hidden in the shadows, careful to keep their love away from the spotlight. But now, there was no more denying, no more running. They had stepped into the light together. Lee Juno and Yoona were no longer just a rumor. No longer just speculation. They were real. The headlines spread like wildfire. News outlets replayed the moment over and over. Juno and Yoona, walking hand in hand, their expressions calm yet unshaken. Social media exploded with reactions. Some fans celebrated, overjoyed that their favorite stars had found love. Others refused to accept it, convincing themselves it was just a publicity stunt. But for Juno and Yoona, none of it mattered. They had spent so long pretending, so long hiding behind scripted answers and forced denials. Now, there was a strange sense of relief in finally being able to exist as they were. No more stolen glances in public. No more whispered words in the dark. But with the truth came consequences. Their schedules had always been hectic, but now, the pressure was suffocating. The entertainment industry had always thrived on illusion. And now that the illusion was broken, the whispers behind closed doors grew louder. Some companies feared backlash. Would fans turn against them? Would endorsements be pulled? Would this love story come at the cost of their careers? Their agencies issued statements, carefully worded yet distant, neither confirming nor denying anything beyond what the world had already seen. But no statement could control the chaos. Paparazzi followed them at every turn. Every outing was documented. Every meeting analyzed. A simple dinner became breaking news. A single glance was enough to spark new theories. The weight of public scrutiny was suffocating. And then came the rumors. Were they planning to get married? Was Yoona leaving the industry? Was Juno's career in danger because of their love? It didn't take long for the negativity to surface. Some fans who once adored them now criticized them, claimed they had been deceived. That love had no place in the world of idols. That they had betrayed their fans by choosing each other. It hurt. Not the headlines. Not the endless cameras. But the realization that their happiness had become a battleground. One night, after a long day of filming, Yoona sat by the window of her apartment, staring at the city below. The lights flickered like stars, distant and untouchable. She should have been happy. She had the man she loved. She no longer had to hide. But why did it feel like they were losing something? Juno arrived moments later, exhaustion written all over his face. He had spent the day dodging reporters, answering endless questions that had nothing to do with his work.